I am Raghunandar Rao, sir, IS, APC and Secretary, Government of Telangana. Sri Kamal Prasad Patnaik, sir, RD, Reserve Bank of India, Hyderabad. Srimati Chintala Susila, Madam, CGM, NABARD, and other senior officials of various government departments, co-bankers, and other invitees. Good morning and hearty welcome to you all for this 42nd SLBC quarterly meeting, review meeting. Before placing the performance of banks in the state during the quarter ended June 2024 to this August form, I once again apologize for the delay and present before you all highlights of the performance of the banks during the quarter ended June 22. It gives me immense pleasure to place the performance of the banks in the state during the first quarter of financial year 2024-25 before this August form. The total deposits of the banks grew by 2,005 crores during the quarter, and the total deposits were at 7,81,959 crores, of which SBI is 204,000 crores at 26.14%. Total advances with banks grew by 16,289 crores. The advances of all the banks were at rupees 9,95,348 crores. I'm happy to say CD ratio continues to be above 100%, and it has gone up from 125.53% to 127.29% during the quarter. During the same quarter, banks have disbursed short-term production loans amounting to rupees 17,383 crores, achieving 35.56% of the Kharif targets. During the same quarter, banks have disbursed rupees 23,848 crores as investment credit to agri, allied agri, infra, and agri ancillary activities, achieving 41.65% of the targets. Banks have disbursed education loan amounting to rupees 220.49 crores and housing loans amounting to rupees 984.34 crores under priority sector lending in the current financial year so far. Banks have disbursed rupees 57,079 crores to micro, small and medium enterprises, the MSME segment, achieving 44.03% of the targets. Under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, banks have sanctioned rupees 1,987 crores, achieving 21.49% of annual targets. Banks together have disbursed an amount of rupees 1,731 crores to various sections of the borrowers under priority sector, recording an achievement of 35.90% of targets. Coming to financial inclusion front, as per information provided by Department of Financial Services, there are no unbanked rural centers in the state of Telangana. An agenda on this will be presented during the course of meeting. Banks in the state have 118.55 lakh PMJDY accounts in their books and 95.72 lakhs, that is 80.75%, 80.75% of the PMJDY accounts are seeded with Aadhaar. RuPay cards were issued to 86.54 lakhs, that is 73% of PMJDY accounts. As far as the social security schemes are concerned, banks have covered 151.63 lakh customers under Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana (PMSBY) and 67.94 lakh customers under Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, that is PMJJBY. 19.38 lakh customers have subscribed to Atal Pension Yojana scheme. Under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, banks have, under PM Swanidhi Tranche 1, banks have sanctioned 4,22,697 applications and disbursed loans to 4,19,600 street vendors. Under Tranche 2, banks have sanctioned 2,10,332 applications and disbursed loans to 2,06,764 street vendors. Under Tranche 3, banks have sanctioned 52,850 applications and disbursed 50,527. Under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, banks have sanctioned rupees 2,811 crores against a cumulative target of 3,200 crores so far. I take this opportunity to thank the Government of Telangana, Department of Financial Services, Government of India, officials of Finance Department, Agriculture Department, Industries Department, and other departments of Government of Telangana, Reserve Bank of India, NABARD, and the member banks for their cooperation to the firm in discharging its function, and I solicit similar cooperation in future also. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, GF sir. In fact, sir has presented the summary of the performance of all the banks during the quarter June in a nutshell. In fact, he touched upon all the points. Now it's my turn to take all of you through the detailed presentation of the performance of all the banks during the quarter. Sir, Honorable Minister, sir, in fact, it's our pleasure to present before you, sir, the performance of all the banks during the very first quarter of this financial year 24-25. In fact, the previous meeting, the 41st SLBC quarterly meeting, it was conducted on 19th June 2024. The minutes are already circulated to all the stakeholders, and as no request for any amendments are received from any of the stakeholders, so I request this August forum to please confirm the minutes which are circulated to all of you of the pertaining to the previous meeting. In fact, this is the action taken report of some of the action points which are emanated from the previous meeting, the 41st SLBC meeting. The first point, in fact, this pertains to the number of inactive BCs. In fact, it's a happy thing that number of inactive BCs have come down by 3,479 during the quarter, and details will be presented in the relevant agenda item. And action point 2 is in respect of RBI's priority sector norms. Priority sector advances together are at 31.46% of the total advances as on 30th June 2024. In fact, banks are sensitized to achieve the stipulated norms in the coming quarters. Point number 3 is relating to the reconciliation process in respect of the unspent subsidy with SC Corporation. In fact, to take the things forward, SLBC scheduled a meeting on 15th July. Due to some administrative exigencies, we received a request from the SC Corporation to defer the meeting, and the next date is yet to be received from the department. And the moment we receive the date, that meeting, reconciliation meeting, will be carried forward at the earliest. Item number 4 is in respect of the issues relating to the emu birds forming, sir. In fact, the Honorable Minister, sir, was very particular about this issue, sir. In fact, after the last meeting, we have conducted a special SLBC meeting also, sir, on 16th July. The relevant bankers, whoever was carrying the outstandings, they were called to the meeting. A resolution which was earlier passed in 2018, the similar resolution on the similar terms, it was again passed on 16th July. We have called for the fresh data from all the stakeholders, and the same data is already forwarded to the Animal Husbandry, Veterinary and Animal Husbandry Department. And in turn, we have confirmed that the data is now with Finance Department, and we are just waiting for the instruction from the Government of Telangana, sir. Once the instructions are received, then banks are prepared to go with the norms which are resolved. Coming to the 5th item of the action point, in fact, this is the standardized data system. So once again, we request all the banks to submit the data. Once a quarter is completed, it is to be submitted before the 10th of the following month in which the quarter is completed. So all the banks are sensitized as such. And point number 6 is regarding achieving the benchmark PM task force norms of the MSME advances. In respect of norm 1 and norm 2, all the banks aggregating, we have already achieved the norm. The concern is about the PM task force norm 1, and this is discussed in detail even in the subcommittee meetings and also the ECMSME meeting at RBI. So all the banks are requested once again to achieve this norm 1 also in the quarters to come. Point number 7, in fact, this is an old and outstanding issue, sir, regarding the arrears amount which the banks are supposed to get from Government of Telangana. That is amount pertaining to Vaddi Leni Runalu and Paula Vaddi Runalu, amounting to 725.18 crores. So we once again request the Government of Telangana to please reimburse this amount to the banks, as this amount is already lying in there. They have already made the provisions for it, and they are carried as NPS. Point number 8 is the arrears issue, sir. The revised Raitu Bandhu 2018 check printing charges amounting to 25.93 crores, and we request the Government of Telangana to please reimburse this amount to the banks. Point number 9 is relating to the expenditure of RCTs. There are 11 RCTs, expenditure of 16.28 crores. In fact, the long pending issue again, that arrears amount is to be received by the banks, both the State Bank of India and Union Bank of India. So we request the SERP, and also, in fact, they need to facilitate, reconcile, and get the things done through the Ministry of Rural Development, Government of India. So coming to the regular items of the agenda, the banking network. Commercial banks, RRBs and cooperative banks together have a branch network of 6,460 branches in the state. And payment banks and small finance banks have a network of 129 and 45,603 BCs in the state. So this slide indicates the operations of the business correspondents. And banks together have a BC network of 35,292, of which 23,531 are in rural areas. And out of these, 6,043 BCs, that is 17.12%, are inactive. In fact, this is a cause of concern. And the number of inactive BCs have come down by 3,479 during the quarter. This is a positive step during the quarter. And further, Yes Bank has a share of 60.19% of total BCs, and has a share of 81.26% in the inactive basis. So Yes Bank is further sensitized even in this SLBC meeting also to please work on this inactive basis so that the state's number will come down. And during the quarter, the number of BCs have come down by 3,451, mainly contributed by Yes Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank. This is progress in digital modes of payments, ATMs and POS machines. ATMs, banks have ATM network of 9,356 as at the end of June 24. And in respect of POS machines, banks have deployed 2,71,774 POS machines across the state. And while number of ATMs aggregating, the number has come down by 41 during the quarter, and POS machines have gone up by 51,082 during the quarter. A significant increase in POS machines. Status of PMJDY accounts indicates that there are 1,18,54,712 accounts with the banks, with a net growth of 59,992. Around 60,000 accounts are opened during the quarter, and 80.75% of the accounts are Aadhaar seeded, and RuPay cards are issued to 73% of the accounts. The endeavor is to reach to the saturation level. So, in fact, we just made a pan-India comparison of the PMJDY accounts. As far as the state-wise comparison is concerned, our state is in the 16th position, not a very good sign as such, with 34,037 PMJDY accounts per lakh of population. Just improved as compared to the previous quarter of 33,759, we have gone to 34,000, but still the status is continued at 16th position. Coming to the social security and insurance schemes progress as on 30th June. So far, banks have covered 1,51,63,090 beneficiaries under PM SBY, 67,94,010 beneficiaries under PM JJBY, and 19,37,520 have subscribed for APY, Atal Pension Yojana. And during the quarter, PM SBY has come down by 24,930, and PM JJBY and APY, they have gone up significantly during the quarter. So during the financial year, this is a summary of the business trend of all the banks together. And as on 30th June 24, banks have total deposits of 7,81,958 crores. And total advances of 9,95,347 crores in the state. And deposits have gone up by 2,005 crores and advances have gone up by 16,289 crores. So almost 7.5 times advances have grown during the quarter in the financial year so far. And the CD ratio continues to be at a very high rate of 127.29%, well above 100%. And as far as the priority sector lending norms are concerned, the priority sector advances are at 31.46% of total advances, whereas agri advances are at 14.86% of total advances. In fact, both are well below the benchmark norms stipulated by Reserve Bank of India. This is a cause of concern. And advances to micro enterprises are at 5.8% of total advances, whereas advances to weaker sections are at 11.04% of the total advances. This slide indicates the achievement of annual credit plan. It's at 24-25. Kindly please read it as 24-25 as on 30th June. So during the first quarter of financial year 24-25, banks have disbursed 17,383 crores as short-term production loans and achieved 35.56% of the ACP targets, total Kharif, if we just look at. Under investment credit, banks have disbursed 23,847 crores, achieving 45.28% of the ACP targets. So within the first quarter, the growth percentage is very significant as such in all the parameters. Overall, under agriculture, banks have disbursed 41,231 crores and achieved 40.6% of the ACP targets. And banks have disbursed in respect of MSME loans amounting to 57,079 crores, achieving 44.03% of the ACP targets. And banks have disbursed total priority sector loans, all the segments together, agri, MSME and the other priority sector together, banks have disbursed 1,07,31 crores, achieving the overall growth of 40.62% in the first quarter itself. And as far as the total credit plan, including the priority and non-priority together, banks disbursed 2,40,507 crores during the quarter, achieving 40.01% of the ACP targets. Credit flow to agriculture exclusively. Banking sector wise, if you look at in respect of credit flow to agriculture, public sector banks achieved 44.25% of the targets, whereas private sector banks achieved 41%, equally good, and RRBs achieved 29.5% and cooperative banks 27.24% of the ACP targets. And with the aggregate achievement of 40.6% of the ACP targets. And the lower table, it indicates the KCC applications received and disposed under various categories as part of the saturation drive as on 30th June. This is progress on KCC to dairy farmers. Cumulative bank-wise data as well as the data during the financial year is shown here. In fact, not even a single application is received by the banks, so nor I can say sourced by the department, concerned department. So I request both, we need to have more and more coordination meetings which need to happen at the district level from the agriculture department, annual husbandry department, and also the banks, the LDMs. The banks have so far sanctioned 4,143 applications out of 11,896 applications. This is the cumulative data under this saturation drive. And no application is pending with the banks for more than, that is one positive sign, with more than 15 days, nothing is pending with the banks. In fact, the same thing is shown here district-wise. So far, Warangal district sanctioned highest number of applications. Similarly, Warangal district also equally rejected maximum number of applications. This is progress on KCC to fish farmers. Banks have so far sanctioned 3,641 applications. During current year, the financial year, in the first quarter, out of 100 applications received, and all applications are rejected. In the Central Bank of India received 100 applications and all are rejected. The data is reported by the bankers. But this was discussed in the subcommittee meeting also, sir. No. We had a subcommittee meeting on agriculture before we reached here. And it was not pointed out by your official representing your bank. We could have carried that here, had it been informed to SLBC at the appropriate time. So I request all the banks to please relook into about your position also. So there is no pendency of applications for more than 15 days with the banks. District-wise progress on KCC to fish farmers. Again, district-wise highest number of applications sanctioned so far by Warangal district. And in fact, all these 100 applications, as reported by the bank, they are received in the other 3 districts which are rejected. This is another area where a lot of focus is being even sought from the regulatory authority also, the pledge finance. So under warehouse receipts financing, banks have outstanding loans of 61.25 crores given to 336 borrowers and disbursed 12.97 crores to 70 accounts during the quarter. And in respect of joint liability group, JLG's banks are having outstanding loans of 1,031.75 crores given to 3,02,260 accounts as on 30th June. This is outstanding and NPS of agriculture sector, the cause of concern. Banks have outstanding agricultural loans of 1,45,502 crores, of which 5.71%, that is 8,311 crores are NPS in the books of the banks. And overall NPS of agriculture sector have gone up by 0.27%, maybe the marginal increase during the quarter from 5.44% to 5.71% during the quarter. Sure. And in absolute terms, NPS have gone up by 745 crores during the quarter. So coming to the micro, small and medium enterprises, MSME sector, the banks have disbursed 57,079 crores during the quarter June 24, achieving ACP target of 44% in the first quarter itself. And in absolute terms, the achievement in all the 3 categories during the quarter June 24 is much higher as compared to similar period of previous year. We just made a comparison with June 23 and June 24. The percentage growth is in absolute terms relatively much higher as compared to the previous year. In percentage terms, achievement is lesser as compared to the previous year, for the reason that the ACP targets are increased during the current year to an extent of almost 2.37 times as compared to the previous year. And in absolute terms, definitely in all the parameters, the banks have grown substantially. This is indicating the outstandings of MSMEs with the banks. Outstandings of MSME advances grew by 2,889 crores during the quarter. Regarding MSME clusters, so we have an estimated enterprises of 27,358 operating in MSME clusters across the state, and of which 26,441 enterprises have been achieved. The percentage wise it works out to 97%. Comparing the NPS vis-a-vis the outstandings in MSME, so as against the MSME outstandings of 1,22,263 crores with the banks, so NPS are to an extent of 6,150 crores, that is 5.03% of the outstandings. And NPS have slightly gone up by 0.06%, that is from 4.97% to 5.03% during the quarter. The last column indicates the NPS of all the segments, in fact. So compared to this is the NPS of MSME only. Yeah. So coming to the performance, so I have great pleasure that the most respected Honorable Deputy Chief Minister and Minister of Finance, Bhatti Vikramaraka Mallu sir has just arrived. Sir, hearty welcome to you, sir. We are delighted to receive you here, sir, for this 42nd SLBC quarterly review meeting, sir. And I request Sri Prakash Chandra Barrow, sir, the General Manager and Convener, to please welcome the beloved Deputy Chief Minister, sir, to with a sapling. Sir, hearty welcome, sir. So we are honored, sir, to have you with us. We have come all the way, and in fact, he is chairing this meeting of this 42nd quarterly SLBC meeting. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, with the permission of the chair, I will be continuing with the presentation part, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, in fact, this is the performance under PMMY in Telangana as of 30th June. Under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, banks have sanctioned 1,987 crores to 1,51,662 beneficiaries, achieving 21.49% of the targets. In fact, the lower part of the table indicates the sector-wise achievement under PMMY during the quarter. Coming to the category-wise the progress report, the PMMY, like if you look at the category-wise progress, women entrepreneurs are sanctioned 567.18 crores, whereas new entrepreneurs are sanctioned 857.15 crores. We just made a comparison of PMMY with Pan India. Among states, we are at 22nd position, not a sign to celebrate. With 574 sanctions per lakh of population, that is during the financial year 24-25. This data is received, collected as on 16th of August, very latest data. So we are at 22nd position state-wise. And of course, the Pan-India position remained the same as compared to the previous quarter. Last quarter also we were at 22nd position. We could at least maintain our position, but significant area, abundant potential is available to improve our position. PM Stand Up India, another flagship program of the Government of India. So banks have so far sanctioned 12,288 loans under PM Stand Up India scheme amounting to 2,908.16 crores as on 30th June. And during the quarter, 477 new loans are sanctioned by the banks amounting to 104.13 crores. Again, we made a comparison of PM Stand Up India, Pan India. So among the states excluding union territories, our state is at 8th position in respect of the number of accounts sanctioned, that is 12,288, and at 5th position in respect of amount disbursed, that is 1,747.66 crores. And similarly, we are at 8th position among the states in respect of sanctions per lakh of population. So we are sanctioned 35 per lakh of population. So again, abundant scope is there. I just made a quick analysis of the beneficiaries under SC, ST and women category, who are the only beneficiaries eligible for covering under PM Stand Up India. Under SC category, our state is at 7th rank, in respect of number of accounts and 4th rank in respect of amount sanctioned. And ST category, we are at number 1 position, both at number of accounts and the amount sanctioned, Pan India number 1. And women, we are at 10th position in respect of number of accounts and the 8th position in respect of sanctioned amount. So we need to improve. ST category, yeah, definitely we need to celebrate. And other categories also we need to move ahead in the quarters to come. Performance under PME-GP, the Pradhan Mantri Employment Generation Program, the data as on 30th June. So under PME-GP, banks have sanctioned loans to 221 projects during the quarter, achieving 7% of the targets. Long way to go again. But last year we have achieved, well exceeded the targets in respect of projects and 13% in respect of margin money targets. And among southern states, we just made a comparison among the southern states. We are at 3rd position in respect of all the 3 parameters. We just made comparison with Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala, Lakshadweep and Pondicherry. And NPS in the PMGP, as you can see, they have gone up by 30.56 crores during the quarter. And in percentage terms, NPS remained the same at 5.58%. That is a sigh of relief, but amount-wise, they have gone up. Coming to the implementation of PME-GP target and achievements, bank-wise, if we look at the data, TS CAB has the highest achievements of 19% during the quarter so far, during the financial year so far, in respect of projects, followed by Telangana Gramina Bank at 16% and the Bank of India 14%. So coming to AIF, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund Scheme. So under AIF, banks have cumulative target of 3,200 crores, against which 2,811 crores have been sanctioned by the banks, thereby achieving 87.84%. In fact, banks are very aggressive in AIF funds, and the Telangana state is always almost figured in the top 3 pan India. That's one the great achievement. Union Bank of India has the highest sanctions of 671 crores, followed by State Bank of India at 633 crores. And an amount of 972.89 crores is pending to be disbursed. And if we disburse this also, maybe we can reach out, we can plan for Pan India number 1. PMFME, so another flagship program, the Pradhan Mantri Formalization of Micro Food Processing Enterprises. Under PMFME, as against a target of 3,182, banks have sanctioned 5,848 units, achieving 184%. We stand Pan India number 1. PMFME is also a wonderful achievement from all the banks. And in respect of pendency, 1,308 applications are pending for sanction, of which 132 are below 30 days, 56 are between 30 to 60 days, and 1,120 are more than 60 days. A lot of discussion took place even in the subcommittee meeting about clearance of this pendency. So I appeal to all the banks to please clear this pendency and carry the things forward. Total pendency has come down from 1,838 to 1,308 during the quarter. PMFME, just we made a comparison among the southern states. Among southern states, we are in top position in the achievement. Not only in southern states, even Pan India also, we always bigger in top 3. But concern is about clearance of the pendency. PM Swanidhi, the street vendors Atmanirbhar Bharat, under PM Swanidhi Tranche 1, banks have sanctioned 90.94% of the application, that is 4,22,697. Disbursement also work out to 90.27% of sanctioned applications, and 47.63% of the applications are written by the private sector banks. Bank-wise, if we just compare this Tranche 1 of PM Swanidhi, State Bank of India sanctioned the highest number of applications, that is 1,79,037, followed by Union Bank of India with 1,02,451. 73.01% of applications are written by HDFC Bank. So correction has not taken place, and I request HDFC Bank to please look into this. Under Tranche 2 of PM Swanidhi, 2,10,332 applications are sanctioned by the banks, 83.07%. Of which public sector banks sanctioned 1,78,296, RRBs 13,083, and private sector banks 651, and disbursed 81.66% of the applications sanctioned. 33% So this is under tranche 3. 52,850 applications are sanctioned by banks, 79.77%, and disbursed 50,527 applications, which works out to 76.26% of the applications received. Again, the bank-wise tranche 3, SBI sanctioned the highest number of applications, 20,818, which works out to 91.74%, followed by Union Bank of India, 15,612 at 78.79%. We made a comparison in the Pan India about the PM Swanidhi. Under tranche 1, we are at 5th position. Tranche 2, we are at 3rd position. Tranche 3, we are at 3rd position. Good sign, but still we can make the best out of this. So this slide indicates the lending towards the government-sponsored schemes, the credit flow under day NRLM and day NULM, both rural and urban SHGs. So as far as the credit flow to rural SHGs are concerned, banks have disbursed 3,883.74 crores during the quarter, achieving 19.42% of the targets, and as against 14.93% and year end. YoY, if we make a comparison, the growth during the quarter is substantially higher than the previous year. NPS under rural SHGs have come down from 2.92% to 2.49% year over the year, and in absolute terms, NPS have grown by 148.65 crores over June 23. And in respect of urban SHGs, banks have disbursed 513.59 crores during the quarter, achieving 20.21% of targets, as against 12.1% during June 23. Almost 8% higher growth is recorded during the current quarter. And NPS under urban SHGs have come down from 5.26% to 4.12%, more than 1%, 1.14% NPS have come down during the year over the year. So bank-wise progress under SHGs, both NRLM and SHGs NULM, if we look at, UCO Bank achieved the highest, that is 38.51%, followed by APGVB under NRLM, APGVB 23.2%. Under NULM, again the same, UCO Bank achieved the highest 36.71% and APGVB 27.06%. So coming to credit flow under education loans, under priority sector education loans, banks have disbursed 220.49 crores during the quarter, and total NPS they stand at 0.77% of the education loans. Under priority sector housing loans, banks have disbursed 984.34 crores during the quarter, and 0.47% of home loans are NPS with the banks. So coming to the unbanked rural centers, URCs, in fact there are no unbanked rural centers in the state as on 30th June. So we have not received any data as such from DFS, that is no URCs pending as such. And only there is one recurring issue of Telangana Gramina Bank, the new Raipur. In fact, the last previous meeting also we had a discussion. We have advised to DFS also. Maybe they received again a letter from DFS, as this particular new Raipur village is already submitted with the Sriram Sagar project. So we'll record this in the current meeting, and again we'll inform to the DFS again. So coming to TFIAP, the Targeted Financial Inclusion Intervention Program, Bhadradri Kottagudem, Asifabad, and also the Jaisankar Bhupalapalli, the three aspirational districts are identified by DFS, and we have been focusing on the 4 parameters. So one is the CASA accounts, PMJJBY, PMSBY, and APY enrollments in respect of these districts. So if you can just look at the data as on 30th June, all the 3 districts have achieved all the parameters which are stipulated by the DFS, except Asifabad, they have just achieved 96% in respect of PMSBY. Maybe by the end of the next quarter, they will be achieving 100%. Asifabad also will be achieving 100%. Coming to the Pradhan Mantri Adarsh Gram Yojana, PMAGY, this is also a financial inclusion initiative to cover the public under social security schemes and insurance schemes. 169 villages are identified by DFS, and they are distributed among the banks to focus on all the social security schemes, and this is a performance of these 169 districts, villages. If we look at the APY, the Atal Pension Yojana as on 30th June, under APY, banks have made 74,702 enrollments during the quarter, achieving 17% of the annual targets. So financial literacy initiatives, There are 80 FLCs, financial literacy centers in the state, and spreading financial and digital literacy among the general public, particularly the rural public. And these FLCs have conducted 1,883 camps during the quarter against a target of 1,680. So the target is well exceeded in the quarter. And rural branches of banks have conducted 6,073 camps during the quarter as against a target of 5,625 stipulated for the quarter. Digi districts, all the 33 districts in the state of Telangana are digitally enabled, and public are using either one mode or the other ways of using the transaction through some digital mode. In fact, under ED-DPE, expanding and deepening of digital payments and ecosystem of RBI, one mode or the other is being used by the public in all the 33 districts of the state. In fact, this was also discussed in the action points, the action taken report. I request regarding the Vadileni Runalu and Paula Vaddi, the long pending issue of 2018. So, SLBC requests Government of Telangana to please clear the pendency of 725.18 crores to be received by all the banks, long pending issue. And Raitu Bandhu also is a pending issue, RBS 2018 scheme, a check printing charge of 25.93 crores. So, we request the Government of Telangana to please reimburse this amount to the banks. And regarding RCT, pending claims of 24.76 crores as on 30th June. State Bank of India has to receive 21.81 crores and the UBA has to receive 2.95 crores. So we request SERP and Government of Telangana also to please expedite the process. Oil palm cultivation, in fact, is another very potential